act for so long.
Alright, we're here, YouTube. The Wasta. The self-destruction of Adam22, no jumper. Podcast? I thought they were good. I wonder what happened.
You can only keep up the act for so long when everything around you is falling apart. Sooner or later, either the mask is going to slip or
and we pump.
which took Adam's regular co-host Brick Baby.
Adam, be careful, because if you think the feds ever need logic in a RICO case, as far as money being funneled and what that money went to, even though you didn't even know where the money was going, don't act like you can't get brought up in this shit either. I don't think Adam did anything. But do you think the feds care? You think they play by the same rules we play by?
A lot of times
you
in
could
RICO,
find any wired money, and that money that was wired there was used to do something that was sent to somebody. You get caught up in this.
Wait, I missed something. What are we talking about? What case are we talking about? I'm so confused.
A heartbeat.
And soon, the news was broke by Wack100 on Adam's own platform that the feds had come knocking at his door.
What's up, man? I just called my attorney to try to get him down there so Adam don't be doing no telling, bro.
Man, they saying Adam locked up all on the blogs. What's going on?
They got him this morning, bro. They doubled back. They came by and we try and have him out because he's supposed to go live today, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to go live at 4 p.m. And the crazy thing is, Adam texted me.
They're going to have him out by like 2:30. We can get him out by 2:30. He can still make it to the building.
And while he wasn't exactly sure what the exact issue was, they were intent on getting some kind of information from him.
They own him about something, bro. I don't know what they own him about, but they own him about something.
Is that Blueface?
And I don't know if they were trying to get something out of him, but I'm pretty sure come 4 o'clock, he gonna be here. My attorney assured me they're gonna definitely have him at 2:30 at the latest. So he'll be here at 4 o'clock. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a lot to say.
Now that Adam's on the feds' radar, a lot of people see this as the consequences finally catching up to him. After all, people have been calling him out for years for speaking on street issues when his own life was far from it. It's even led to wild face-offs with people like King Yella.
I'm really worried about you steady playing with my name. I've really been getting my life together trying to change, but it's like you're just playing with me. And I think you can't get your ass beat or something.
No, anything's possible.
Yeah. If I come to your shit and a motherfucker play with me, gang, God forbid, for them. You better be prepared. I'm prepared to die right now. Is you?
Yeah.
No,
I'm probably even more prepared than you.
With Ruga, when he felt he was taking
Now his racistness coming out. Yeah, you racist, man.
I'm describing your.
You weird.
I'm gonna ask you to leave.
Come on.
Sure. Behave like a grown-up, Ruga.
Yeah.
That's exactly. With all the damage he's done to his reputation, it's no surprise that the only ones
so corny
backing are the ones. Because let's be real, Adam and his content are nothing like the BMX kid he started out as. And when you reflect back on his moves, it's clear that he has no one to blame but himself. A channel which was birthed from his previous experience with his BMX brand on the come up, No Jumper's initial run gave us some in-depth interviews with up-and-coming stars. From XXXTentacion to Juice WRLD, many young talents came onto the platform to introduce themselves to the world, while the likes of TK, Lil Xan, and even the late great Lil Peep all had music videos hosted on the channel. Notably, many of these videos still remain the highest viewed content on the platform, even 9 or 10 years after they dropped. As a kid from New Hampshire, Adam was pretty much a novice in the world of hip-hop. which means that he got finessed at times. At one stage, Dame Dash made him pay for his haircut in return for an interview.
I paid Dame Dash for this interview. I paid $500. It was weird. The Connect is like, yeah, you know, is this a paid interview? And my publicist asked me, she's like, what am I supposed to say when people ask that? And I said, say no. Say it's not paid. And so she said that, and then they come back to her and they say, we're going to need $500 for his haircut and his driver. We thought this was pretty hilarious after, because, like, his haircut, like, he literally does not have a hair on his head. And that's not a diss or anything. I'm sure there would be some hair on his head, but, you know, he rocks a baldy. Like, Dame Dash shaves his head. That sounds like a pretty expensive haircut.
Then again, Adam always claimed that landing big names in the culture was worth the cost. However, while his content initially centered around the hottest rappers coming up, the problems for
I don't think it's worth it. If you gotta pay people to want to come and sit down and talk to you, bro, you just shouldn't entertain that at all. That's just not it, bro.
Adam and his reputation were about to begin with some notorious episodes on the show, where it seemed like he was maybe exploiting situations for views. In one of the most chaotic clips to ever emerge from the channel, Boonk Gang appeared on the show completely trashed out of his mind and was clearly in no shape to appear on camera. And to Adam's credit, he did actively try and get them to postpone the interview.
You can leave the black and mild on the ground. It's okay, bro. It's okay, bro. Shout out to the homie Boonk.
Oh my God. Help me with this nigga, bro.
Oh yeah, you can take a picture right here. Maybe this will be the thumbnail. Huh?
Get that picture. No, that's good.
Appreciate you, Boonk. Take care, bro.
But at the same time, the 5 million views that the video pulled in felt like a turning point, where drama wasn't just something that happened on No Jumper, but it was almost as if they were leaning into it. Whether that was interviewing OnlyFans models, bringing pimps and gang members onto the platform, or attempting to gas up beef between other rappers. At times, this strategy backfired, like when he tried asking Trippie Redd about his beef with Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I'm at like 850K, bro. You could get me that million. Come on, just boom. Just say, hey, 1400 gang, follow this idiot. Boom. I got $1 million. And then I'll owe you.
So
I'll be your assistant.
Guess what?
I feel like at a certain point, it was almost like too much.
As the street-focused content grew, and Adam started being
Yeah, bro. That's not it, gang. I don't... Yeah, you're going around begging. Come on now, man.
seen more as an instigator, the narrative shifted. He went from a respected promoter of new music to just another culture vulture. Although he always denied it, even saying that Dame Dash didn't call him a vulture, but that he was just a racist.
What did you say to make Dame call you racist?
I mean, there's a bunch of them, but like one that stands out, one part for him is that he feels like I'm white, so I should be more interested in white culture musically, and that it's a little odd that I'm so into black culture. He's like, why do you always want to talk about rap shit, black culture? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really think you'd be that interested in Mumford & Sons. And he just, you're racist. I went to a Mumford & Sons show. Like, I was like, okay, fine. I thought you wouldn't like Mumford & Sons. My apologies.
I've never even heard of Mumford.
Now, I'm not sure if that was the flex he thought it was. Either way, it wasn't enough to convince some people, particularly when his content isn't solely about the music anymore. And as the company has expanded,
that's true. It's more about like the bullshit you bring on to the No Jumper.
Things only got messier, bringing us to the now, where people are actually enjoying watching.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. After that incident with his girlfriend or wife or whatever, yeah, bro. I think it fell down from there.
It all fall apart. Thanks to early cosigns from rappers who were actually tapped into the culture, Adam was originally given the benefit of the doubt. Just like academics caught heat for his War in Chirac series, where he built his brand by clowning real-life violence, Adam faced similar backlash when his channel began shifting from talking about music to street drama, with people accusing him of profiting off pain he had no part in. And when he popped up on other platforms, he was hit with some harsh reality checks.
I find it somewhat disturbing that somebody that is outside of what these boys endure on a day-to-day basis, interviewing them and monetizing it for your own personal gain when these kids are dying. This is them and their family's trauma that you guys are monetizing to turn a fucking profit, and you're calling it journalism. That's not fucking journalism. So in them doing this, they're coming on your platform because your platform is huge. So do you agree that them coming on your platform, you said it already, that it has a benefit for them as well as you?
Of course. Yeah.
So do you also think that you are monetizing this black beef trauma shit that these boys are going through?
I mean, incidentally, yes, I am monetizing it because when we make content on YouTube, it's monetized by default. But that being said, this is content that the people clearly wanted to see.
So that's your rule. If people want to see it, I'm putting it out. It don't matter about your behavior and your train of thought isn't aligned with the well-being of these people. You just listening to songs.
Let me give you.
You don't really give a fuck about any of these people. FBG Cash reacts to FBG Duck's mom. Like, you putting moms in this shit.
She dissed him.
We delved into who this kid is as a person, what he grew up and what he endured in growing up. Y'all don't give a f. Y'all care about what the people are gonna go to immediately.
They're gaining from it as well.
No, they're not.
Look.
Nah, yeah, this is it gets to a point. It's just so weird, bro. Why the fuck are you like you're using real people's issues in life to make content into profit off of that, and you're just bringing them on here to start shit. You don't actually care.
Looking back at some of the comments on this video, people actually gave Adam a little bit of grace back then, as they felt that he definitely at least earned his spot in hip-hop by putting on for underground artists early on. But that perception faded a long time ago, especially after he hired a whole crew of people only to use them and toss them aside when it suited him. And to be fair, during the early run of his career, No Jumper was pulling in serious money.
What is the whole brand make in a month or in a year?
No Jumper might bring in $1 million a month.
Wow.
And then Plug Talk, not quite as much, but in the ballpark arena of that. A big part of it's Patreon. You know, we have a Patreon that does 6 figures a month. Facebook has been insane. We're making a couple $100,000 a month on Facebook.
After an explosion of views in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Adam and No Jumper began to branch out and started hiring various hosts while expanding their repertoire of shows. That said, it was no surprise that some of them flopped almost immediately. For example, there was the flat-out terrible ideas, like having the infamous OnlyFans model Selena Powell have an entire show dedicated to her on the channel. As expected, it was short-lived. Others like Lil Housephone, AD, T-Rel, Sharp, and Lush became regulars and helped carry the platform for a while. The status quo remained in place for a pretty decent amount of time, with the content they generated beginning to garner.
So he did No Jumper episodes where he's not even there. So bro doesn't even care about it no more. He just wants money.
Its own fans. But when this all blew up around them, No Jumper was lucky to have survived 2023 with all the infighting and allegations of a toxic work environment that arose. Things really started to spiral when a trans guest on the show appeared to outlaw Housephone for having relations with them.
Never mind.
Come on, let's hear the impression.
No, I was gonna impersonate someone that I shouldn't have.
Oh, come on. You've already sold out entire life here.
Well, yeah, well.
Did that look down upon to expose that somebody may have been with a trans person? If
Yeah, absolutely. I sign NDAs and I take them very seriously, so just letting everybody know
you didn't get
that.
one from, I'm guessing?
He didn't fucking pay me. Fuck him. The fuck?
So just air them out. But I feel like in general, that's kind of a
You pay for
thing.
discretion in this world, okay? All right? I am a very, very honest person, and I'm well-known, veteran, okay?
I have a feeling that this will soon be about him.
Oh,
I'm going to be hearing a lot about this.
And people, this was Sledge
Tell him
Lords.
to fucking take it up with me. I don't give a fuck.
I would like to say the same, but it seems like I'm worried about people calling me a bad friend for just not editing this and putting it out. They're going to be mad at me, but I'm just...
And this wasn't the first time Adam crossed the line. He already caught backlash for mocking the abuse that Housephone's mom.
Housephone is his friend, and he just outed that he slept with a trans woman. Okay.
Went through at the hands of another man.
He beat the shit out of my mom one time, and I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes, and he literally almost killed her. My uncle was the one who sent it to him.
Oh, now you're gonna have another weird phone call.
I know, right? I know. Actually,
Your uncle gonna be like, you know this guy in a little house phone with no jumper? That's my nephew.
That is your son.
And I ain't seen him since he was 4.
Yeah,
for
and I
real.
beat a bitch up, and it was what it was.
Hey, relax, bro. Hey, nah, for real.
See? It's sensitive.
Out of pocket, bro.
I wanted to bring up.
Despite this flagrant disrespect, they carried on, with House Phone simply asking for the line about the trans situation to be removed from the episode of the podcast that Adam then hosted with Danny Mullen.
But you saw the text message. You saw how strongly worded I was urging the fucking editors to make sure that it was taken out. Like, you know what my intentions were, right?
I called you specifically and asked you, bro, your lack of you didn't even sound like you was even listening to me when I called you on the phone. Your tone was just, I don't give a f. I knew that I was wasting my breath by even asking you to edit it. Or
how are you wasting your breath when you saw the text messages?
I asked you not to put it out. I asked you not to put it out.
You asked me to edit it out.
I asked you not to put it out. The first thing that I said was, can you not put it out? But I knew as soon as that came out of my mouth that I was wasting my breath, because I know you and I know you're not gonna, the way that you view shit is like, I'm not gonna throw away this content. Oh, I filmed this thing, so I'm not gonna not put it out.
When Adam ignored that request, it sparked a heated confrontation with House.
That's his friend, ain't it? House Phone, that's like his friend. Oh man. You just ruin it for everybody, huh, Adam? You just hate everything. I see it.
House Phone. And things exploded when Adam brought up the death of the same woman he'd previously mocked for being a victim of abuse.
What?
It doesn't matter about what the you tried to do, Adam. It's about what happened, bro. And then let's move forward to that bullshit ass apology you gave when you're on the fucking news. You're talking about, yeah, he's been going through the mom shit. He's been going through the health shit. You talking about the person that fucking raised me?
Are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
you're
I fucking
disrespectful as
I paid for the fucking funeral as soon as it happened just because.
In the aftermath, the sentiment surrounding Adam seemed to change in an irreversible way.
Bro, you can't just say you're not disrespectful to his mother because you paid for his funeral as soon as she died. Nobody cares about that, bro. If you have money, you could pay for, like, anything, bro. It don't matter. It's about if you actually care or not.
Specifically because not only would he not take accountability, but that he threw something so personal in someone's face, who was allegedly a close friend in the full view of the world. The fact that this conversation was used as content says a ton. The friendship was doomed to fail. But it wasn't just the fans that were horrified, because from there on out, it felt like nothing was ever the same at No Jumper again, and that T-Rail and AD got a real wake-up call. All the while, Adam continued to dig his heels in and make things worse.
I was like, God damn, Adam, shut the up.
What?
I was like, because I was like, you're so argumentative.
I already rebutted this crazy opinion. He was saying things.
Same way.
T-Rail, by the end of the podcast, he fully admitted and apologized for saying shit that wasn't true. So I don't know how you think that I'm going to sit here and have somebody say shit to me that is demonstrably not true and not respond to it. That whole idea.
Demonstrably? What the fuck does that even mean, Adam? What? Demonstrably? Clearly apparent are capable of being logically proved. That cannot be logically proved. Also, you use that wrong, gang. It cannot be proven logically. It actually can't be proven at all. You have no evidence behind it. Unless you showed a text, which would be crazy if you showed it a private conversation with your friend who you had a clash with and who you're lost by now, I'm assuming. It's kind of crazy.
Sentence.
Are you putting out this?
If this shit is personal, why, like, use it for content, bro? It should just stay personal, man.
Argument that we already resolved is unnecessary because me and him already had that conversation and he already acknowledged that that was fucked up for him to be acting like it was a different thing.
I mean, let me finish my fucking
because
sentence.
it's
It was going
unnecessary.
nice. It was finna go
No,
the nice
because
route.
it's a podcast.
But look, it is. But bad podcasting, you always say, let us speak. Let the person speak and let them get that off.
Right, but that doesn't mean like here, get off a 20-minute rant.
Well,
and say a bunch of
hold
shit
on.
that is completely.
You still should hear. You should still hear.
I heard him out and I responded.
Hypothetically,
this is my podcast, and I'm willing to hear out other people's opinions. But if your opinion is that I should have sat there and took that, get the fuck out of here. It's not happening.
It's my podcast. Now you're going, it's my podcast.
It is my podcast.
It's my podcast. I do what I want.
That is kind of the gist of it.
I just feel like he would have been more receptive to additional feedback.
Okay. Well, we get that you feel that way, but
I mean, I think
reality
everybody would have
is.
been.
As if that wasn't enough of a reason for them to...
It's like he has to be right, or it's everything else is wrong. Like, what the fuck?
Want to flee. He was then seen looking gleeful when he was referred to as Master by Destiny, a streamer who he collaborated with despite his numerous racist rants over the years.
Of yours, I had to look up like 30 things. So I thought you were inviting me to fuck you. And
You thought I was black when you
no,
first
well,
got
yeah,
invited.
that too also. Well, because everyone said Adam does hip hop, so I didn't know you were just the slave owner and not the.
Wow.
Listen, I'm here to rep. Okay.
I like how. Oh Lord, bleep that.
And of course, much of that original crew left soon after.
Today, we put in our resignation papers today, man. Yeah, man, we left the fort, man. No more.
I saw this. I hope they came together and did their own shit and worked together, because they're probably more successful now. But good shit, bro.
AD at no jumper. No more. T-Rail at no jumper. No more. Duno at no jumper. No more. Smack at no jumper. We gone, man. Me personally, I feel amazing, man. I gotta salute my brother T-Rail, bro. That man, he loyal to the soil. Yeah, more people need to be like him. Stand up. He said, man, if my homie ain't in this shit, I ain't doing this shit either, man. I feel like, man, as minorities, black and brown, bro, we showing that we can stick together. That's a big ass movement right there. You know what I'm saying?
With his empire now under more scrutiny than...
There you go. That's all. That's all you need, man. You need loyal friends. You need people that are loyal, that are close, man. That you can still be nice with, bro. And the fact that they didn't stay for all the money and fame and whatever, and realize that this shit was fucked, and they left, that's amazing. Good for them, bro. I hope they're doing great. And this was the big part of the reason why it was self-destruction right here. Okay.
And ever, Adam had to build from the ground up again. And almost immediately, he claimed he learned an important lesson from it. And sure enough, he rebuilt the team.
All right, tell me what you've learned from all of this.
You know, I feel much more equipped to build something, like to build a cast of characters and everything. It sucks that I wasn't able to, do it with these guys, but sometimes with me moving so fast and doing so many fucking interviews and everything, it's just, I didn't have enough of my eye on the ball to realize what I had in that moment. I can't fully blame myself, because that was such a new thing to me. I think I realized that I'm not, desperately trying to grow this thing. I want to do something solid and consistent that I'm happy with. And, I don't necessarily feel like we need to have 5 live shows a week or whatever. I feel like at this point, I'm perfectly happy to, slow it down a little bit.
The only problem was that the channel basically seemed like it thrived off drama, controversy, and cheap stunts from there on out. Instead of going back to the insightful interviews with rising rappers that built the channel, he doubled down on street content, clearly
Why?
Enjoying it when fights between people like Suspect and Kelpie went viral.
Boy, fuck out of here.
I ain't never seen no bitch.
Who are you?
I'm Lil
Who
Kelpie.
are you? No
Kelpie
one
the
knows
pimp.
you.
Kelpie the motherfucking
Kelpie the
pimp.
clown.
You
Fuck
ain't
outta
gotta
here.
know who I am, bro.
Fuck outta here.
Ben Franklin knows who I am.
Out of here.
He knows who the fuck I am. I'm
You
getting
said
money
what?
every day. I said Ben Franklin knows who the fuck I am, bitch.
Who you calling a
Ben
bitch,
Franklin,
though?
I'm calling you a bitch.
I was in here chilling. Call me no bitch.
But if he was accused of being a cold
And y'all saw how Adam been nothing and walked away like, oh shit, get me out of here.
vulture beforehand, another terrible decision which only served to destroy him was when he decided to conduct an interview with Blockstar. For those who don't know, this is the man who was literally sent to jail for killing Pop Smoke.
Because a lot of people were saying it was a robbery gone wrong. No one was intended to get hurt that night.
Nobody's intended to get hurt.
Especially
I don't feel like the drugs was part of the situation. I just feel like, I don't know, we was just kids, being kids from the hood, and too much movement.
Movement from Pop Smoke?
Movement from everybody.
In the house?
Too much shit going on. It was too much shit going on. It wasn't intentionally. I'm not sorry about nothing. It should never happen, but I ain't sorry. Feel me? Like, if I could go back, I'll go back. But I ain't sorry. Niggas die every day.
Even though Adam tried to frame it as historical significance, the interview drained whatever goodwill he had left in the community, and his IG explanation didn't help at all.
Okay, so I wanted to respond to some of the feedback about me interviewing Blockstar, Pop Smoke's killer. I didn't do that interview because I don't care. That's what a lot of people seem to think, is that Adam just doesn't give a f. That's not the case at all. I did that interview because I thought that it was an important historical record of somebody who was involved in one of the most tragic, insane stories in rap history. I knew Pop Smoke, and I have nothing but respect for him, and definitely did not want to, you know, enrage his friends or family. I actually wanted to do a piece of content that I thought they would be able to benefit from.
Still, Adam kept pushing, burning money on new shows and interviewing up-and-coming rappers, hoping to catch lightning in a bottle like he did with X back in the day. But he doesn't seem to understand that now the entire landscape of both content creation and music these days is a lot different. People...
I gotta see if my mic's good. Hello, hello, hello? Hello, hello? Okay, yeah, my mic's good. Just want to check chat.
Simply aren't willing to take the chance in the way they were in that era. Instead, they wait for someone else to tell them it's cool before engaging. Meanwhile, Adam was busy rebranding himself as an adult performer alongside his wife Lena the Plug through their explicit Plug Talk podcast. And things took a turn when he allowed Lena to branch out right around the same time No Jumper started falling apart.
Yeah.
Soon, she was shooting scenes with Jason Love, a man who claimed he was providing superior service to her literal husband and father of her child.
Do you think that you f***ed her better than Adam did?
Well, obviously, yes. But I'm pretty sure he probably felt different with Adam for her because love is involved emotions. But as for the physical aspect of getting obviously.
This initially sparked conflict between Jason and Adam, but considering she had collaborated with him several times since, it would suggest maybe there was something to what Jason said. From there, Adam began to embrace the image of king of all with his For the Love of Lena show, which, if you're not familiar, is a reality competition show about finding a suitable candidate to have relations with his wife. Naturally, this aspect of his behavior is never going to be received well in hip-hop's hyper-masculine culture, and combined with everything else, his reputation was basically crumbling into pieces. Even Lena clearly lost respect for him, as she began to talk down to him in public.
You're so helpless, so I'm not gonna have you help me with something where I feel like it's gonna take me double.
So he's like a big
double
ass
the work.
kid. I have very limited life
I told him the other day, he's like, it's like dating a 13-year-old boy because he's like, can I stay home and play video games? I don't want to come. And then if he does come, he's on his phone in the corner the whole time, and I'm like, put your phone away, Adam. Talk to people.
And after sacrificing so much, including his pride, it makes the fact that he's now in a financial hole hit even harder. How the f*** he going broke after selling his wife? But just when it seemed like things had hit their lowest point,
this shit is crazy, and I don't even know how it gets worse, bro. Bro sold his wife for... I don't even know at this point. And you lost your respect as a man, as a human being. I don't think anyone actually respects you anymore, bro. Jesus Christ. This is the downfall I remember. This shit was crazy, bro.
it turned out that he still had plenty further to fall. By the beginning of this year, things were looking pretty dark for No Jumper. They might still have had 4 million subscribers, but the platform was devalued. Plus, fans had already been losing interest for a while, especially once it started feeling like Adam had mentally checked out and that the content took a nosedive in quality.
I have a question. If you live in SAC, is it expected that you pay additional attention to the ball sack when doing any kind of sex act?
Is you from SAC?
Wait.
You from SAC?
Say that again?
SAC, Memento. Like if I was from Peaceville, New Hampshire.
Oh my God.
And as social media turned against him...
What was that? Oh, never mind, bro. Forget it.
The Adam22 name, which referenced his sexual assault allegations that became public in 2018, has become inescapable, particularly after he offended academics over his very dubious conduct with a 15-year-old.
seen so much anticipation on Reddit because they're looking at this situation as a situation in which I need to disavow academics and his behavior in order to be, I guess, like morally cohesive. And from my perspective, even if I can say, yeah, like, all right, Ack fucked up. Ack should not have done that. He should be more mindful about how he's speaking, especially when there's a minor on the Discord call, whatever. But I'm not dying to just jump out the window. It's like there's so many people who want his spot. It's just the level of desperation to cancel people.
You know what? It's not even that, dude. It was just fucking weird. It was literally just hella weird to do that. To do what he did, it was just weird. It was just not like, okay. It's not even about a cancel thing. It's like that shit was just weird. What he said was hella weird. It's different if y'all are like, that's some shit that friends do that grew up together. You're in the same grade, or you're like, both y'all, like y'all in school. That's the type of shit you do. He is a grown ass man talking to a 15-year-old saying shit like that. It's just weird. It was just weird. That situation was weird, bro. I don't know. There's no place where it's like that's okay. It was just weird.
People is so fucking lame to me.
And as always, there were concerns over the treatment of his co-workers that have stuck by him from even some of his most loyal audience members. A user on the r/NoJumper Reddit summed it up perfectly by saying he gave Lush a lot of grumpy energy and picked on him constantly. Just because you're not scared of Lush doesn't make it okay for you to just pick on him. Keep the same energy with Brick Baby. Lighten up. You're the one that's making this shit unbearable to listen to with your attitude. You aren't an expert podcaster. You have just done a lot with them. You're literally sitting around talking shit and you're lucky as fuck to even get paid for it. At this point, Adam's conduct at the helm of the channel
that's kind of true. He kind of hit it right on the money.
Seemed like a masterclass in what not to do. And as if that wasn't bad enough, he then decided to literally scam his fans. Out of
What? Oh my god, it always brings back to making a fucking meme coin, bro.
nowhere, Adam got himself involved in a rug pull for a cuck coin on the Solana blockchain after announcing his involvement 30 minutes prior to the launch. As his market cap promptly swelled from 500k to 4 million, key investors pulled out and crashed the coin down to 100k value. In essence, the classic pump and dump strategy that has plagued the entire crypto world for years. This would look bad for anyone, but coming from a guy who used to speak out against these kinds of schemes, it looks even worse. Back in 2021, Adam was tweeting things like, "What's the difference between pushing crypto scams and selling your fans NFTs? Both are worthless digital junk that no one actually expects to gain value." By now, Adam's not exactly—
Oh yeah, that makes it even worse, bro. And you started one up and scammed your fans too. Oh my god, bro. You just make bad decision after bad decision, huh?
exactly known for owning up to his mistakes. And sure enough,
I would never make a meme coin or crypto, whatever, dude. That is the, like, as an influencer or a content creator, dude, that's your ultimate demise. Like, you know that shit's gonna fail. Why? Like, something's gonna happen.
he played dumb like he had no clue what was happening.
I was scammed.
You were scammed?
Someone told me that they had a bag for me to promote a crypto token. I guess I didn't process initially that it was going to be perceived as like me starting a crypto token. When it was proposed,
We just saw earlier you said you're starting up a meme coin. Come join. We literally saw that earlier. So you're already wrong.
to me, they told me Moneybag Yo just did this. He didn't have any significant amount of backlash. The Baby just did this. Here's a couple other rappers that are set to do this in the next couple days. I take the payment, then I look at the text that they want me to post, and I think that it was a little bit outside of the realm of what I should have posted. I think I should have made it more clear that this was merely a project that in my heart of hearts, as a non-crypto guy, I was excited about. I think I should have made it more clear that this was not something that I had created out of thin air. I also had no idea about any sort of nefarious intent. People are saying that this was a rug pull. I didn't know. I didn't realize that this was going to be the same type of thing that I've watched so many CoffeeZilla videos about.
But then came a run-in with the YouTube investigator CoffeeZilla, who came with receipts and turned the whole thing into an event.
Yeah, this motherfucker's the GOAT, bro. When it comes to scams, bro, he cracks down on it. He knows if you did it or not. So you can't lie to him.
Real talk, you shouldn't run a coin. It's lame, and you're either gonna scam or get scammed, said CoffeeZilla in a screenshot of his Twitter DMs to Adam. How else am I gonna afford all the Galaxy gas? This was low even for him, but the desperation now makes more sense following his announcement that the whole company was going down the tubes after they overstretched themselves.
We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue. And unfortunately, that did not happen. Our YouTube numbers, which had doubled or even tripled, gradually returned to normal. Our Snapchat and Facebook numbers, which had exploded during COVID, sometimes even hitting 6 figures a month, shrank by about 80% or more. Our Patreon, which was absolutely killing it for a year or two when we were doing uncensored, aka nude interviews with up-and-coming superstars like Kazumi and Sky Bree,
Nude interviews is fucking crazy.
fell off quite a bit with the launch of Plug Talk and a decreased interest in seeing us interview stars.
Courtesy of a series of major L's, including their Instagram account being taken down, Adam, who had previously acted like he was killing the content game, was now desperate for sponsors to come aboard.
After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account, we got taken down one day and we still have absolutely no idea why. We've had no luck getting it back despite being in contact with what seems like every Instagram recovery guy on the face of the planet. We were bringing in a very solid amount of cash monthly that was keeping us afloat via selling sponsored posts on the account, and that mostly vanished overnight. And while we've been growing the new No Jumper LA account up ever since and managing to sell sponsored collab posts using my Instagram and the No Jumper LA account, DM or email if interested.
This was teamed with a lawsuit from a former employee, which was causing a great deal of stress and financial strain for him and the company.
Now, essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've
Dude, it's going downhill, man. Just give it up. How does it get worse? There's still 9 minutes left. How does it get worse?
spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it still cost us a ton of money already, and it's expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this through to completion. It's insane to me that a person that we did so much for can just invent some grievances out of thin air and cost us this much money as a result. His streaming career has completely tanked, and he even got kicked off the podcast that he left No Jumper to start. But somehow, that's our reality, and we have to fight this rather than just give in to this piece of shit.
The man in
Who the fuck is he talking about?
questioned is Harmonious Yearly, a former No Jumper host who also ended up falling out with Lil House Phone's biggest bro crew, sparking what's probably one of the only viral moments that channel's ever had.
You don't have the best reputation for being like a productive, person.
And you think that you going live to 50 viewers and getting drunk every night is you being so productive?
Yep.
You are the most ass nigga I've ever met in my entire life. On God.
You
Like,
just
there's-
whole thing for no reason.
His argument is on the grounds of wrongful termination, with another former employee, Riley G, alleging sexual harassment.
90% of the shit in that lawsuit is bullshit. A sexual harassment or unlawful termination or whatever lawsuit is only going to be able to address things that took place while these people worked here. Even the biggest No Jumper hater who was aware of what was going on at No Jumper while they were here, we never treated her with any kind of disrespect, including going massively out of our way. Remember when Big Homie was liking her Instagram photos and shit? We basically put it on the table, if you're uncomfortable with anything that he's done around you, he's out of here. There was never any sort of documentation of her feeling uncomfortable in any way. There's no complaints, nothing that was said.
Now facing a whole host of obstacles from fixing the platform, it remains to be seen whether it's going to be viable for it to keep existing in the way that it is. But what's telling about how far he and the company have plummeted is that there is little sympathy for what he's facing, even from long-term viewers. Bad character, bad business. I smell a move and rebrand from street gang members back to rappers. From a guy who has watched since 2015, this is so satisfying. In an attempt to combat everything, he's trying to minimize overheads.
From a guy who watched Adam since 2015, this is so satisfying. Watch Adam reveal his true personality over the years. He really is a scummy guy who cares about no one except himself. But you've been watching since 2015. Aren't you a fan, bro? Wouldn't you hate this?
So satisfying. In an attempt
Whatever.
to combat everything, he's trying to minimize overheads by selling the Melrose store and warehouse. But he continues to insist that he personally has plenty of cash remaining and is just the company that's in trouble.
Am I personally going broke? No. I do porn. I have a very successful business called Plug Talk. I also, not a big spender. I've got plenty of money that I've stashed away over the years. I put the money away. You know, I very much look forward to the day where I'm sick of doing content and I can just ride off into the sunset and not think about paying the bills.
However, some people think that the whole thing is an elaborate scam to evade the legal fees that are coming with the major fallout from the Big U scenario.
I made it 41 years into this life before I had involvement, conversation with federal agents. And when they showed up, I was wearing a red Nike Tech. Not exactly the definition of fresh, but I got a crazy update. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. 22ster has got...
Even then, not everyone's buying that. With Charleston White all up
What is bro talking about? Oh, Charleston White. He knows what he's talking about, I'm not gonna lie.
publicity stunt for their faltering company.
Adam22
That's true, I see that.
got arrested. He
No
got
ways.
arrested because I feel like it's a publicity stunt.
I don't believe he got arrested. I believe the feds.
About the state of about cheerleaders had their pom-poms out a few years
On a whole campaign of gloating.
I'd like to play it.
Somebody sent me a clip of Joe Budden claiming bad in terms of our views and everything. So let's do the science.
Oh, shit.
Numbers, main channel plus our clips channel has done about on Facebook.
He did all that. Dirty BMX white boy. Let me tell you, like
God damn, bro.
Site from people who were once on a recent episode of to use to
subscription-based platform, but you shot it down, and we were our build. I didn't want you to feel like I was trying to press you to do.
But this wasn't met with enthusiasm from. Instead, it was seen as just another ploy to exploit the audience. Additional value. But there's
Yeah, you seem like a like a snitch. Like you like yeah, you're a podcaster who got caught with like the feds or whatever, and you're asking a question like that, but you look like you're just trying to set him up. Like, what the fuck?
And rather than fold to the awkwardness, X4 kept it so stone-faced that it actually kept Adam lost for words.
Maybe it might not have been you. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't think it was me.
Okay. But that wasn't related to any of the cases that you caught? Well played. Okay. So...
Well played? Come on, bro. Like, are we snitching out here? Like, what was that?
It's kind of hard to pick another question after that.
As if all this wasn't damning enough, another thing that won't rehabilitate its relationship as a Fed information pipeline is that other cast members are essentially flinging Brick Baby under the bus now that he's in the pen.
What's happening? This is Do you believe Brick Baby is capable of doing those things?
Again, man.
Have you ever seen him be anything other than nice to you?
Listen, Brick has always been good to me. But, again, if his baby mama is on a
Baby mamas
wiretap...
are crazy. Baby mamas be saying the craziest Liar-ass stuff because ones. they know.
Yeah, but not her, though, bro.
But the
She's
truth
the
of the matter
nicest.
is
Yeah.
that this is what it is. Whatever's on paper is what's on paper and
Yeah.
nothing else matters.
Look.
Now, who in their right mind would want to be in that environment? With
Yeah.
guests likely to think twice and the public perception of the No Jumper brand at an all-time low, Adam has now resorted to the influencer equivalent of begging on X. After putting out a post saying, if you become a YouTube member for $5 a month, send me a screenshot and I'll open your DM on here and respond for life. For Adam, this must be really painful. At one point, he was viewed as among the biggest players in hip-hop that people flock to every
Yeah, this is a crazy fall off. I'm not even gonna lie. Insane fall off.
month. But now, due to a string of terrible behavior and awful decisions from him about the direction of the channel, people aren't just willing to let it pass on. They are actively reveling in his misery. Damn, OnlyFans money must be drying up. No one wants to save your shitty
Damn.
podcast. Whatever happens next, it's gonna take every ounce of Adam's business sense to keep his brand alive. Because right now, he's facing a massive uphill battle just to have anything left worth saving. It's your boy Luesta, and I want to thank y'all.
Well, hope his shit turns out to be good, man. I hope he's fine after a while. See y'all, YouTube.